You might say that Forrest Gump isn't all there, but after seeing him portrayed by Tom Hanks in the new movie opening today, you might feel that not being all there isn't all that bad. Our man in Hollywood, Jim Brown, has more on that.
My name is Forrest Gump.
You can now add the name of Forrest Gump to that growing list of movies whose central character can best be described as dysfunctional. Forrest Gump, starring Tom Hanks, joins recent releases such as Rain Man, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Benny and June, A Dangerous Woman, and earlier movies like Being There.
Are you crazy or just plain stupid?
Stupid as stupid does, Mrs. Blue.
Now, Forrest is a man with a 75 IQ, but a man who is present at most of the important political and sociological events of the early decades of his life, and recognized for that participation.
Now, my mama's always telling me how miracles happen every day. Some people don't think so, Jenny! But they do.
Based on the novel of the same name by Winston Groom, Forrest Gump, as directed by Robert Zemeckis, also features Robin Wright, Gary Sinise, and Sally Field.
You have to do the best with what God gave you.
What's my destiny, Mom?
You're gonna have to figure that out for yourself.
Everybody else says Forrest is an idiot. Everybody else calls him an imbecile. Everybody asks, how stupid are you, you know? Forrest doesn't view himself as being stupid. He doesn't know that he's an idiot. He only knows that he's got to do the right thing here, and he's usually thinking about what that thing is going to be.
Run, Forrest! Hey, stupid! Run!
Now, you wouldn't believe it if I told you, but I can run like the wind blows.
Who in the hell is that?
And there's Forrest Gump, Coach. Just a local idiot.
The logic that Forrest Gump actually lives by is great logic. The spirit that he has is very, it's unprejudiced, it's non-judgmental, it's very honest, and it's strangely fair, you know, it's strangely right. And I think it's because he can only operate at the speed of that common sense that was presented to him by his mama.
After playing two fictional characters in Philadelphia and Forrest Gump, Hanks next tackles the real-life drama of the crippled spacecraft Apollo 13. Handing Hanks copies of two newspapers from that April 1970 life and death crisis, he commented,
"How about that? This is a treasure you just handed to me." The Apollo 13, which was viewed as being like one of the great failures in the American space program, was in fact perhaps its most shining moment of success.
Flight, I've got a feeling we've lost 2 fuel cells. I hate to put it that way, but I don't know why we've lost them.
Apollo 13 is the story of Jim Lovell, Fred Hayes, and Jack Swigert, who were 3/4 of the way to the moon when, as learned later, faulty wiring caused an oxygen tank to rupture, cutting off most of the astronauts' air, power, and water.
And there's one whole side of that spacecraft missing.
Is that right?
The whole panel is blown out, almost from the base to the engine.
It's really a mess. Man, that's unbelievable.
Based on Lovell's book, Lost Moon, the movie will tell how over a 4-day period, Lovell, Hayes, and Swigert faced a death no man had ever died before, death in space.
This is probably one of the greatest adventure stories in modern day history.
Which begins with a wonderful line, "Houston, we have a problem."
Houston, we have a problem. That's right. And I have the lucky, amazing good fortune to play Jim Lovell, the second man to say those. Jack Swigert said it first, Jim Lovell then said it later on, and then said, "We have a main bus B undervolt." And if you know anything about the command module, a main bus B undervolt is serious, serious problems. This is almost forgotten, and yet for 4 days the entire world stood still, and you know, silence was held for a few moments during baseball games, and the Pope served up a mass in order to say prayers in order to get these 3 guys back.
Odyssey, Houston, we show you on the mains. It really looks great.
And you've talked to Jim Lovell.
Oh, yeah.
And he's given the blessing of you.
It's from his book,
yes,
Lost Moon. It really comes from him, and I have spent no small amount of time pumping the man for information, and also apologizing that I'm the guy playing Jim Lovell. There's other guys he might want to have, but he's got me, God bless him. So.
And he said, okay.
He gave me the thumbs up. I've been officially welcomed aboard the spacecraft Odyssey and Aquarius.
Lost Moon, starring Tom Hanks, with Gary Sinise, Kevin Bacon, Bill Paxton, and Ed Harris, directed by Ron Howard, goes before the camera starting in August. In the meantime, you can see a very different Tom Hanks in his current release, Forrest Gump, which opens nationwide today. For today, Jim Brown, NBC News, Hollywood.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.